To the global LCC community, greetings from the heart of campus. Happy Easter! Christ is risen. Here's a basic question for all of us this week. What does it take to get our attention? What do people have to do to get us to hear their message clearly? Here are a few examples of what I mean. Let's say your friend has important news for you. They probably will choose to share it when you're quiet, when you're not watching a movie, when you're not talking about last night's game or laughing at someone's joke. They may say something like, "Guess what?" And it's possible that the longer that they pause after those two words, the more intrigued you become and the more you are ready to really listen. Let's say you're a parent. And now I digress into an area I have no business referencing, since I have no idea how it really works as a parent. But I sometimes hear parents trying to communicate with a very active child, and it doesn't seem to work until the parent says, "Look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you." Once they have the child's visual attention, the message seems more easily absorbed. Could it be that we are all living in that gap of silence between when our friend says, "Guess what?" and when he or she announces something? Could it be that we are all living in that gap of attention when our parent says, "Stop, look at me when I'm talking to you," and before they actually tell us? Here we all are, in that gap, whether we are far from our LCC community or right in the middle of it. Here we all are, in that gap, where perhaps someone is trying to get our attention. I realize that it's hard to assume the lessons that we can learn from something while we are still surviving that something. But is it possible that perhaps someone or something is trying to get our attention? What if the next big message we hear is the best news ever? Just like a friend who says, "Guess what? I'm getting married." What if the next big message after this global pandemic and quarantine and closed borders and self-isolation and masks is, "Guess what? The world around you is to be shared. Do good to others and see the good that others do." Maybe the only way to stop the pace of our worlds and realign our priorities is for us to hear the message, "Stop. Look at me when I'm talking to you." I don't know. I'm just wondering out loud, and I'm starting to listen to the silence differently. Join me as we live in this gap of silence together. We've heard the question, "Guess what?" And now we wait for the answer. Keep listening with me. And on this Resurrection Sunday, I celebrate the biggest message the world has ever heard. Guess what? Christ is risen. As Christians, as people of faith, that message ends the gap of silence. That message grabs our attention because it is a message that is both personal and global. It is a message that changed the course of history, it changes how we live today, and it will change our future. So, during these days and weeks, may we listen to the silence. May we together wait for the important news to come. And today, let's celebrate the good news of Easter as the global LCC community. Christ is risen.
He is risen.
He is risen indeed.
Jis prisikėlė.
Iš tiesų prisikėlė.
Jezus į Urinjal.
Ai Urinjal me të vërtet.
He is risen.
He is risen indeed.
Kristus ir augšām cēlies.
Namie Dievo tėra.
Kristus воскрес.
Воистину воскрес.
Jis prisikėlęs. Jis iš tiesų prisikėlęs.
Liuja risorto.
Jis iš ties prisikėlė.
Він воскрес.
Воистину воскрес.
He is risen.
He is risen indeed. Hallelujah.
He is risen.
He is risen indeed.